children, how are you? I hope you are happy at home and are you following the teacher's instructions? Yes, definitely you are following the teacher's instructions. Maybe you are writing the notes regularly. I hope you have written notes continuously. Now, in previous class, we learnt about the nutrition in plants. Nutrition in plants. Now, let us start the new lesson. What is that name is respiration in organisms. Respiration in organisms. What is the lesson name? Respiration in organism. What is the lesson name? Respiration in organisms. Organisms means all living human beings and plants are called the organisms. And next, what is mean by respiration? What is mean by respiration? Respiration occurs in all organisms. Respiration occurs in all organisms, and the process of taking oxygen from the air and releases carbon dioxide and water and energy to the air, that is called the respiration. What is mean by respiration? The respiration occurs in all living organisms, and the process of taking oxygen from the air and releases carbon dioxide and water to the air, that process is called the respiration. Later we will discuss this respiration. So, generally, every human being, can you alive for a long time without taking food? Yes, definitely. So, 1 or 2 days, the human beings alive survive on the earth, because at that time, human beings are taking either water or liquids. That's why they can live 1 or 2 days. Without taking any air, can alive long time? No, that is not possible. So, how? By doing of experiments, we will discuss. Let us do activity 1. Let us do activity 1. For example, so close your nose and mouth at the same time. Sometimes you can close your nose and mouth. So at that time, use the stopwatch and observe the needle of the stopwatch. How much time can you hold the without taking breath? You must observe. How long can you live without taking breath? You can observe. So after 2 or 3 minutes, you can hold that breathing. But after that time, you can't live. We will discuss about the breathing. What is mean by breathing? The process in which air goes in or outside of our body is called the breathing. What is mean by breathing? The process in which air goes in and goes outside of our body is called breathing. That is called the breathing. That means the process in which air is taking and goes outside of our body, that process is called the breathing. What is different from breathing and respiration? What is different from breathing and respiration? Now we will discuss. So already I told about the respiration. What is mean by respiration? What is mean by respiration? The process by taking of oxygen from air and release carbon dioxide and water. That is called respiration. That process is called respiration. So, the process by taking oxygen from air. So, oxygen is one type of the gas. That oxygen taken from the air and release carbon dioxide, at the same time water also. That process is called the respiration. What is different from breathing and respiration? Now, what is difference between the respiration and breathing? We will discuss. Let us discuss now. Difference between respiration and breathing. Respiration and breathing. So already I told the definition. Here the process by taking oxygen, taking oxygen from air and released carbon dioxide and water. That process is called taking in oxygen from the air and released carbon dioxide, released out carbon dioxide and water. That process is called respiration. The process in which air goes in and outside of our body is called breathing. In respiration, it releases the energy. But in breathing, it does not release the energy. And this is a biochemical process. This is the biophysical process. What is the respiration? The process by taking in oxygen from the air. And released out carbon dioxide and water. That process is called the respiration. In breathing, the process in which air goes in and outside of our body is called the breathing. That means air goes and comes inside. So that is called the breathing. And next, it releases the energy. So how will happen? Now I will explain. It does not release the energy. And next, this is a biochemical process. But this is the biophysical process. With the help of example, I will tell about the respiration. How the respiration happens inside of our body, I will explain. So, how the car runs? With the help of petrol, the cars run on the road. With the help of the fuel, car runs. With the help of fuel, car runs. Inside of the cars, one motor is arranged. This fuel mixed with oxygen that burns and releases the carbon dioxide. How the car runs? With the help of the fuel only, the car runs. So, inside cars, one motor is arranged. Inside that motor, fuel is mixed with dioxide. In the same process in our body, our body takes the food. That food goes to the stomach. That digestive food, when we are taking the air, inside of air, oxygen will be taken. That digestive food mixed with oxygen, after it changes as that releases as carbon dioxide and water. Here digestive food means glucose. Digestive food means glucose. Glucose, in the presence of oxygen, it converts as a carbon dioxide and water and releases the energy also. So like this in our body, glucose in the presence of oxygen and that releases the carbon dioxide, water and energy also. By using of this energy, we will do many activities. Understood, children? So this process is called the respiration. That's why this is called the biochemical process. But in breathing, that is physically we are doing. That means air goes inside and outside. Simply air goes inside and outside. That process is called the breathing. But respiration means the taking food in the presence of oxygen and converts as a carbon dioxide, water and releases the energy. With the help of this energy only we are doing many tasks. Understood, children? This process is called the respiration. That's why this is called the biochemical process. Here what will be released? Energy is released in the respiration process. Understood, children? Car runs with the help of the fuel. So when in cars, one type of the motor is arranged. So when fuel burns, that means fuel is added to the oxygen, that releases the smoke. In smoke, what gas is present? Carbon dioxide gas present. That means fuel mixed with the oxygen that releases the carbon dioxide. In the same process in our body, the digestive food is mixed with the oxygen. That means that oxygen taken from the air. That digestive food means glucose. Glucose mixed with the oxygen that releases the carbon dioxide and water. At the same time, that releases the energy. So in the process, the chemicals are participate in this process. That process is called the biochemical process. That's why in respiration, what process happens? Biochemical process happens in the respiration. But in breathing, we are taking that's why that happens physically. That's why that process is called the biophysical process. That's why this respiration is the biochemical process, and next breathing is the biophysical process. In respiration, what will be released? Energy is released. But in breathing, there is no releasing of energy. Understood, children? That is the difference from breathing and respiration. Let us do activity 2. What is that? How many breaths in a minute? So, keep a finger near your friend's nose and you have to tell your friend, breathe in, breathe out of air. Breathing just like this. Breathing and breathe out of air. So at that time, the releasing, the breathe out of air, how can you feel? At that time, we feel that releasing of air very hot. That breathe out of air, we feel called the inhalation. What do you say? Inhalation, or another name of this, the another name of inhalation is inspiration. Breathing of air is called the inhalation or inspiration. The breathe out of air is called the exhalation. Exhalation or expiration. Expiration. So now you must count it. Breathing and breathe out. You have to say your friend breathing and breathe out in a minute. So at that time you have to count it. Are they same breathing and breathe out of air? Yes, definitely. Both are same in inhalation and exhalation. And did you observe any change in breathing air or breathe out air? Yes, definitely. The breathe out of air we feel very hot. So, and another question. Did your friend inhale as many times and she exhale in a minute? Yes, both are same. Inhale air and exhale air. So, like this, the number of times we breathe in or breathe out of air in a minute is called the respiration rate. What do you say? Respiration rate. The number of times we breathe in and breathe out of air in a minute is called the respiration rate. From this experiment, what you understood? The breathing air is called the inhalation or inspiration. Breathe out of air is called the exhalation or expiration. And the number of times breathing and breathe out of air in a minute is called the respiration rate. Understood, children? So, once again I am writing. What is mean by inhalation? Inhalation means the process that breathe in of air is called inhalation or inspiration. And next, exhalation, or the process that breathe out of air is called exhalation or expiration. What is the respiration rate? What is the respiration rate? The number of times breathe in and breathe out of air in a minute is called respiration rate. Understood, children? From this activity we understood the inhalation and exhalation and respiration rate. Okay? Exercise and breathing. We will discuss the exercise and breathing. So, when we are doing exercise or running or more walking, we feel panting in our body. Why? Because we need more, at the time we need more energy. Where will we come this energy? When we are inhale air more, that lungs. That means from that air, oxygen is absorbed. Food will be break down in presence of oxygen, that converts as a release of energy. That energy goes to every part of the body. Then only we will do more exercise. So like this, at the time we need more energy. We need more energy. Where will we come? From the absorption of the air. From the absorption of the air. So from the absorption of air, what will be present? Oxygen will be present. That oxygen goes inside of the lungs, and here the food will be break up in presence of the oxygen and changes as releasing of energy. That energy goes to the every part of the body. Then only we will do more exercise. Understood, children? So from this, what you understand? That means during exercise or walking or running, we need. From this, what you understand, children? So during doing exercise or running or more walking, at that time we need more inhale of air and releases the more exhale of air. Understood, children? From this above experiment, they asked one question. In your opinion, does the expiration rate increase or decrease after exercise? After doing exercise, we releases more energy. That's why that expiration rate also increases after doing exercise. Understood, children? We will discuss the topic is expansion of chest with each breath. Expansion of chest with each breath. Look at this test book. From this test book, I will explain you. From this test book, I will explain you. So, take a measuring tape. Take a measuring tape or a length of a thread. Wrap the tape around the chest of your friend or your brother or any one of the person. Now, you have to ask your friend to breathe in and breathe out deeply a few seconds. And observe that person's chest. What happened in changes in experiment, that is expansion of chest with each breath. We observe some changes. What are those means? Parameters and in inhalation, and what changes in inhalation and what changes in exhalation we have given as a point here. So first point, movement of air. So how is the movement of air in inhalation? Air rich in oxygen and flows into the lungs. In exhalation, air rich in carbon dioxide. Air rich in carbon dioxide and flows out of the lungs. In inhalation, air rich in oxygen, and in exhalation, air rich in carbon dioxide and flows out of the lungs. And second point, volume of the chest cavity. Its volume increases in inhalation, and volume of chest cavity decreases in exhalation. And next, what is the position of the lungs? Lungs will be expanded. Lungs will be expanded in inhalation, and lungs will be contract in exhalation. Understood, children? Next, movement of the rib. In between the lungs, rib cavity is there. So how is the movement of the rib? So ribs move upward and outward. Ribs move upward and outward. Ribs move downward and inward. So these changes are arised in this experiment. Understood, children? I hope you understood the lesson. From that lesson, I have given assignment. So define breathing. Definition. Define breathing, respiration, inspiration or inhalation. And next D is the expiration or exhalation and respiration rate. Thank you. I will see you in next class.